Do you frequently struggle with your long-term goals? Well, this might be happening because your goals aren't well defined or urgent enough to focus on today. But one strategy that can help is to take your long-term goals and break them down into 3-month or quarterly goals. So in this video, I will detail the 5-step process for creating quarterly goals that you can actually achieve. Now be sure to watch this whole video all the way to the end, because I will also give you a free tool you can use to get started with setting and achieving your goals. And finally, if you enjoy the content of this video, then please help us out by taking a few seconds to hit the like button. Okay, let's begin by answering a simple question. Why should you focus on 3-month goals? Let's face it, as we've learned in 2020, a lot can change in just 1 year. What seems like an important goal in January might not matter by June. So in order to capitalize on all these changes, it's often better to create goals for the short term. These immediate goals usually lead to consistent action and a high level of motivation. It's also been my experience that lengthy goals, i.e. anything over 6 months, are often demotivational. When you know an outcome is months away, it's easy to procrastinate, promising you'll work on them next week. Next thing you know, it's a year later and nothing has been accomplished. The better solution is to create new goals every 3 months that you can focus on right now. So let's talk about how to do that next. How to create a 3-month goal. The best way to get started is to think about 12 months from now. What are the specific milestones you'd like to reach? Once you've identified these outcomes, break them down into 4 separate milestones. As an example, let's talk about a common goal that many people have: losing weight. Let's say you want to shed about 40 to 50 pounds. Instead of trying to do it with a crash diet in a week, you could break down this long-term goal into 4 quarters, like Quarter 1, lose 10 pounds, total loss of 10 pounds. Quarter 2, lose 10 pounds, total loss of 20 pounds. Quarter 3, lose 10 pounds, total loss of 30 pounds. Quarter 4, lose 10 pounds, total loss of 40 pounds. As you can see, the main benefit of a quarterly strategy is you can break down a massive goal into doable chunks, which are then further broken down into monthly, weekly, and daily activities. Now, to take action on this concept, I recommend using the SMART goal format, which we've talked about in a recent video. The SMART goal acronym stands for Specific, Measurable, Attainable, Relevant, and Time-bound. Here is how you would turn a simple goal into a SMART goal. 1. On March 31st, I will be at 225 pounds, having lost 10 pounds in the last 3 months. 2. On June 30th, I will be at 215 pounds, having lost 10 pounds in the last 3 months. 3. On September 30th, I will be at 205 pounds, having lost 10 pounds in the last 3 months. 4. On December 31st, I will be at 195 pounds, having lost 10 pounds in the last 3 months. As you can see, it's not hard to create a quarterly goal. So let's move on and talk about the 5-step process for turning a long-term goal into an actionable plan. Step number 1. Focus on 5 goals or less. To get started, my advice is to stick to a maximum of 5 goals each quarter. Again, this is all about sticking to what's important. If you try to do too much, your focus will be divided as you struggle to do too many things. One strategy that can help is Warren Buffett's 25-5 rule that we discussed in a recent video. Here is a 3-step process for implementing this idea. 1. Write a list of your top 25 goals. 2. Highlight the 5 goals that are the most important to you or truly speak to you, which you can then consider to be your urgent goals. 3. Eliminate the other 20 goals you've written down. Even if they seem important to you, trash them. This last step is important because these 20 goals aren't urgent and therefore shouldn't be given any of your time or effort. Spending any time on these items will take your focus away from your high priority goals. Instead, put all of your effort into achieving the 5 goals that you've highlighted and nothing else. Step number 2. Review each of your 5 goals. Your life is constantly changing. What was important a few months ago might not seem that urgent right now. That's why you should begin each quarter by going through your long-term goals to see if they're still relevant. Get started by thinking of what you've done in the past quarter. Ask yourself the following questions for each goal. What have I achieved so far? Is there a way to build on my success? What specific strategies got me to this point? What obstacles did I overcome? Do each of my goals still motivate and excite me? Should I eliminate this goal? Is there a related or even different goal I should add? This exercise is important because many people often don't take the time to examine their long-term goals. But if you set aside an hour every 3 months, you can take the valuable lessons you've learned and then apply them to the goals you'll set for the next quarter. Step number 3. Prioritize your life. Even if you have multiple goals, there will be times when it's important to focus on a few key areas of your life. So after examining each of your long-term goals, prioritize them in order of urgency. That way, you'll know where to focus your efforts when pressed for time. For instance, let's say in the previous quarter, you focused on achieving a major athletic accomplishment, like running a marathon. But during a second quarter evaluation, you realize that your body needs rest and recovery. So you decide to put health/fitness goals on the back burner and instead focus on strengthening your relationships with friends and family. Sure, you should leave enough time to exercise, but this activity won't be as critical as achieving your relationship goals. Step number 4. Set deadlines and timeframes. When it comes to your goals, it's best to create specific deadlines for the next 3 months. There are 2 ways to do this. First, in some cases, you are not the person who sets this deadline. You might have to attend an already scheduled event or complete a project with a deadline assigned by your boss. When there's a specific deadline, you'll need to account for this in your quarterly goal and make sure you're leaving enough time to successfully complete it. Second, the only deadline is the end of the quarterly period. What you do then is create a metric that's challenging but doable. Simply think of the yearly goal, pick a challenging milestone, and then select a target metric for the next 3 months. Step number 5. Create action-oriented SMART goals. Finally, you should take each of the 5 quarterly goals and break them down into short-term outcomes. For instance, here are 3 examples for each of the 7 areas of your life. Career goals. 1. I will acquire 5 new projects for my web design consultancy through referrals, networking, and social media marketing campaigns within 2 months. 2. I will redo my company's website design by May 1st. This will be done by finding the right graphic designer and web programmer, then using their skills to create a dynamic visual presentation. 3. I will increase profits by 20% this quarter by acquiring 2 new clients each week, finishing projects 10% faster, and cutting $1,000 per month in expenditures. Finance goals. 1. For the next quarter, I will save 20% of every paycheck and invest it in index funds through my 401k. 2. I will create a budget of $4,000 every month. Then I'll track every expense and make sure I'm spending less than this amount. 3. I will pay the outstanding balance of $1,000 on my one credit card in 3 installments and cancel it at the end of the quarter. Health goals. 1. I will eat a minimum of 5 servings of fruits and vegetables daily by March 31st by mapping out my meals each week, going shopping twice a week, and eating 1 to 2 servings per meal. 2. I will work out a minimum of 30 minutes per day, 3 days per week by December 31st. 3. By June 15th, I will drink 64 ounces or 2 liters of water at work every day. I will do this by setting a reminder at night to fill up my bottles and take them with me when I leave for work in the morning. Relationship goals. 1. I will identify 3 things I really love about my partner and tell her about them on Friday night. This will be done by scheduling a 30-minute block on Tuesday so I can reminisce about all the good times we've shared together. 2. I will strengthen my bond with my family by taking them on a vacation this quarter. This will be accomplished by setting aside an hour each week during my weekly review session and planning out future trip ideas. 3. Each month, I will plan and coordinate one activity with my closest friends. This task will also be completed during my weekly review session. Leisure goals. 1. I will enjoy the Maid of the Mist boat ride in Niagara Falls with my family on August 31st. On Saturday, July 1st, I will spend 2 hours planning this trip and making all the necessary reservations. 2. I will learn rock climbing this summer and climb a simple Class 4 at Yosemite. This will be accomplished by joining the local climbing class that meets on Saturdays during the wintertime. Then I'll join a week-long course in the summer to exponentially develop my climbing skills. 3. I will spend at least 1 hour outdoors every day tending my garden, jogging, or power walking. This will be done by blocking out an hour for each day during my weekly review and setting a daily reminder to get outdoors. Personal growth goals. 1. I will read 1 book every 2 weeks for the entire quarter. Some of this reading will be accomplished during my morning routine. 2. For the next 3 months, I will wake up 30 minutes early so I can build a morning routine. 3. For the next 3 months, I will pick 5 important habits that will be added to my new morning routine and complete this routine every morning. Spirituality goals. 1. I will meditate for 10 minutes each morning. This habit will be developed by setting an alert for 7:20 a.m. using the alarm app on my phone. 2. I will take 5 minutes each day to give thanks for everything that's good in my life. I will develop this habit by setting aside time right before my lunch to remember what's important. 3. I will set aside 10 minutes each day and pray to God. This habit will be added to my nighttime routine right before I go to sleep. As you can see, it's not that hard to turn a long-term goal into a quarterly milestone. Start by taking time to analyze what you've successfully done in the past. Then use this information to set specific milestones for the next 3 months. Rinse and repeat for each of the 5 goals to get a blueprint for taking action on a daily basis. Now, in the introduction, I promised a free tool to help you succeed with the SMART goal setting process. Well, on our blog, we have a completely free SMART goal template you can use to print out and track each of your important goals. The link to this template is in the description box of this video. Finally, if you want to take immediate action on the process that you just learned, then click and watch our video that talks about the 5-step process for turning a goal into an actionable habit.